Hi, welcome to SQL tutorial part 2. In last video, we discussed about how we can create a new database. So in today's video, we mainly focusing on how we can create a new table and then how we can create a primary key foreign key relationship and then how we can insert new records, update or delete the transactions on a record, then how we can alter or drop a table. So let's move on to the examples. So I already prepared the create script for table. So I will discuss one by one. I creating a new table with name state. So for creating a new table, we need to follow this syntax: create table. Then we need to specify the table name. State, I have three columns. One is ID, code, name. ID, I used integer as the data type, and then I used identity functionality. So identity means when I try to insert a new record, I don't need to specify the value for this column ID. It will automatically inserted by the SQL server. Means identity 1 comma 1 means it should start from 1 if the table is empty, and if I try to insert a new record, then for that record the value will be 1, and the next record the value will be 2. So every time it will insert an increment of the current value. And I said it's as a primary key. Primary key means a key or a column value that cannot be repeated. It should be unique across the table. Means there should not be any duplicate record. So that's the concept of primary key. And then I just adding another column, code and name. So that's the first table. And the second table is the order status. In order status also, I'm creating ID as the identity column and then set the primary key for that. So that means it will automatically create it during when we insert any records to this order status. Then I have a table called customers. So that table contains ID also, and that is a primary key, and I said it is a identity column. Then first name, last name, email, password, mobile number, address, pin code, state code. So in state code, I used foreign key concept. That means it's the state ID is a reference to the state column to the ID. Means the state ID value should come from this state table. So that means state ID is the primary key of the state table, and that is used as the foreign key for this customers table state ID column. So if I try to insert a customer with a state ID, that state ID should exist in the state table. Otherwise, it will throw a foreign key relationship error. So that's a foreign key creating for the state ID. Then I have another table, the fourth table, that is orders. Orders also contains a foreign key, that is customer ID. So that customer ID, I am just creating reference to the customers table ID. So the customer ID comes from the customers table ID column. So the primary key that is used as the foreign key for this table customer ID. Okay, then I have a different columns like order date, packed date, shipped, delivered date, order count, order status. And order status is also a foreign key that is comes from the order status, this table. So always remember, if I try to create a foreign key, the data type of that column should be same as the primary key of the main table. That is reference to the table. That data type should be used for this. So if I look at the state ID, you can see state ID uh, is integer here. So I used integer for the state ID in the customer table. And when it comes to the orders table, if you see the order status, it's a tiny int. So order status is using tiny int. That's why I created tiny int here, and it is referencing the order status. And uh, if you can see, there is a default value I'm setting here. The default is constraint is nothing but if I insert a new value to the orders table, if I don't specify any value for this order date column, then default value that I just set the get date, that is the current date, will be inserted. So if I try to insert now, so what is the time now, that will be saved to the order date column. So that's the purpose of default value. Otherwise, if I specify a value for order date, then that value will be inserted to the order date column. So mainly I'm just uh, explaining based on an order management system. So we have a customers orders, and that's a main for tables. So I just creating it now. I executed the script. So just see, yeah, all four tables are created here: customers, orders, order, order status, state. Let's open the columns. Yeah, it's a primary key, that's why it is shown as a key symbol, and state ID is a foreign key, so that's why it is shown a key in the reverse, in opposite direction. And we can see the keys. This is a primary key, and foreign key, primary key is denoted by PK, and foreign key is, that constraint is uh, denoted as FK. Okay, and we have orders. Yeah, orders table contains one primary key and two foreign keys. One foreign key is order customer ID, and one second foreign key is order status. Okay, so let's insert some values to this table. So again, I prepared for that. I'm just copying the prepared insert script. Okay, so for inserting values, we need to specify the syntax insert into, then that we need to specify the table name, and then we need to specify the columns and the values which we need to insert. So if you see, this is a standard way of inserting a record to a table. You can see in state table we have three columns: ID, code, name. But right now I specified only code and name because the ID column is set as identity. So we don't need to specify a value. It will be automatically set by the SQL server. So let's try to insert a single row. I'm just inserting only the first row. I just executed. Then let's take another query window and select the values from state, how it is inserted. Yeah, it's inserted with ID 1 with the first record. Okay, and if let's say I try to insert other two states, it's inserted 1, 2, 3. It's inserted total 3 records. Now the standard way of inserting, or the syntax is insert into the table, and then we need to specify the column names. And the column names, sometimes we don't need to specify it. If you are just inserting for a testing purpose, then you are lazy to write the entire column names, then you can follow this syntax, but it is not the standard way. uh, if it is for some debugging, it's in for in your local, then we can insert a value using this syntax also. Means we don't need to specify the column names, just a select statement. So sometimes you might need to take records from another table and insert to the state table. So that time we can you can use this syntax, select the columns from the table, so that will be inserted to the state table if you follow this syntax. So if I inserted this, it is executed. Yeah, that value is got inserted. Secondly, uh, this in the order of that columns, that is not really uh, a matter. Means if I can interchange the column order. Means if I check the state table, it comes ID, code, and name. The name is coming after the code column. But here I use name as first column and code as a second column. But in the values, you have to specify accordingly. Means the value for the name should come here, and the value for the code should come secondly. So if you follow that, that's also insert correctly. Yeah, it got inserted. So for inserting a new record, we can follow these three syntax. The standard one is the first one. I mean, the first three records is the standard way, because when we write some insert script or something, if some second person if try to look into that code, he can easily understand what's the order and what's the value for each columns are getting inserted. So uh, always try to use this one. But if you are in a hurry, for some debugging, you need to get some values into the table, then you can follow this simple way. So that's a way of inserting new record. Then I'm just inserting other uh, table, order status table. I am populating with 5 records executed. Then I'm inserting some customer details. So for the customer, I specifying customer name, last name, email, password, mobile number, address, pin code, state code. So for some values, see in the second record, for the last name, I'm inserting null as the value. Yeah. Then state ID, you can see the state ID value here. It's representing 1, 2, 3. So this state code should be exist in the state table, otherwise it will throw error. Right now I used all the right now we have a 5 states here, so that 5 states are used here. If I try to insert 6, it will throw error. Let's first we'll insert this record and see. Yeah, it's inserted. Let's see its values. Yeah, it's got inserted. You can see we have 5 state, and here the state IDs are within the 5 range. Let's say I'm just inserting another record with state 10, or let's say 8. If I try to insert this record, let's see how it is. Yeah, it is raised an error. The error saying it has a reference foreign customer state, so it is a conflict. Means that state ID 10 is not exist in the 8 is not exist in the state table. So that's why we got the error. It is applicable for update or delete also. If I try to update this record with a state with is not existing in the state table, that time also it will throw error. And if I try to delete a state, for example state 1, if I try to delete, it will throw error because that state is used referenced here record. So it will say uh, you cannot delete that record from the state table because that state record or state is referenced for the record in the customer table. And let's move on to the orders table. I'm just inserting some orders. So you can see here order status. Order status is comes from the order status table. Insert, it got inserted. So let's try to select all the values from different tables. Okay, and let's see the orders table also. Yeah, we have 5 state inserted, and we have 5 order status, and we have a customers here, and orders are inserted. So you can see orders for this customers ID we used. So this customer ID 1 means the customer from the customer table. Tom is the first customer, and we have order status. Order status is comes from this table. 5 means delivered, 1 means order just placed. So that's how that way we can understand the corresponding value. So this is the primary key and this is the foreign key. The most of the time we used primary key integer type as a primary key. Sometimes we nowadays we use a unique key identifier also. Means when I created this state table, I used ID as a integer column and I set identity feature for this. So sometimes let's take a scenario of we have different applications that collect the data, and after a particular time it is populating to the database. Means it's an offline system, and for a particular duration it gets on get data up to the database. So in that case, we might face some issues with this identity column. So I'm just creating a example here, creating a new table called records, and I giving the first column as record type, record ID. Then I'm giving its data type as unique identifier, and I set it as a primary key. Okay, I'm just saving the record name. So I give him varchar. So for this, I need to set a default value for this primary column. Default new ID. New ID means we can see just use a new ID keyword. If I execute it, we will get a unique identifier, a GUID. So that is unique across the system. So it is always create a unique ID every time. So I use that's a default value for this table. Let's create the table records is let's get created. Now try to insert a value and see how these records are getting inserted to the table. Record name, we don't need to specify the record ID because it's a default value set. Values, test ABC. Okay, I'm just inserting this value. It's got inserted. Now let's see how these values are. Yeah, so that's a first record. It's get inserted with a unique identifier, a GUID. If I need to specify value for this, then I'm just creating a new ID, and then that value we can use for insert for the second record. Yeah, sorry, yeah, comma is there. DCV. Yeah, when it's inserting second record. Yeah, so this is how a unique identifier or data type can be used for the primary key. So if this record is used for any other references, we need to specify it as a reference. Then this column should be used as a foreign key for that table, and we need to use the unique identifier data type. Also, when we try to insert a record into that table, we have the value should exist. I mean, the value should exist in this records table. So that's a concept of unique identifier. But most of the time for primary key, we set integer as the data type. Sometimes if we have some kind of scenario, then we can go for this unique identifier. Let's say we need to update a record for a column. Second record in customers table, for the second record, there is no last name for the second record. Now let's see how we can update that value after inserting. For updating a record, we need to specify update statement syntax, that is update. Then we need to specify the column table name. Then we need to use the set statement, set. Then we need to specify which column we need to update, that is last name equal to. Then we need to specify in the where clause we need to give the which record we need to update. So we need to update second record, so id equal to 2. The where clause should always use, otherwise it will update on all the records exist in that customer table. Okay, for Kiran, I am giving second last name as Kumar. Execute the script and see is it executed or not. It's correctly updated or not. Yeah, it is there. So if you see initially there is no value for the last name. Here I updated the value Kumar. For the second record, it is get updated. So always remember, if we don't specify the where clause, it will get affect all the records. So always remember to add the where clause with the proper filter. How we can delete a record from a table. Let's say I'm inserting a new state into the state table. Then we can try to delete it. We already have the insert script, so we will use that one. Okay, using a random name. We accidentally, let's say scenario like we insert a wrong value and we need to delete it. Yeah, it is inserted, and if I need to delete it, then we need to use the delete statement, delete. from the table name, then we need to specify the where clause, otherwise it will delete all the records, but it will not happen because we set the foreign key in the customer table. So let's say we need to delete the last record, 6th record. Yeah, it got deleted. Yeah, it's got deleted because it is not used in the customer table, so that's why we can delete it easily. If I try to delete the first record, let's see if we can delete it. Yeah, it's raised the error, foreign key error, because it is used in the customer table. That's why. So deleting this particular record, either we need to drop that foreign key and then we need to delete the record. Also, we need to correct the that particular records. So here, if you see the customers table, we have different customers with state ID 1. If I drop the foreign key and if I delete the state from this table, then there is no, it's a orphan. There is no value corresponding in the state table. So we need to correct these records as well along with that deletion. So this is how we delete a record from a table. Now let's move on to the alter statement. How we can alter a table. So the customer table, right now we have a, let's see what are the, yeah, we have a state ID. Okay, now I need to add a new column to this table. So that's that time I can use the alter statement, alter table, table name. Then if I need to add a new column, add, let's say, okay, I'm adding a new column as parent customer ID. Then I use integer as the data type. And if I try to specify the not null, how it will take, just see how we can add it. It will throw error because the table exists around 10 records. The table contains 10 records and we specified the new column parent customer ID as a not null. So if I try to add, it will throw error because the SQL Server does not know what value that needs to be put for these existing records. So if I need to add a not null, it will not allow unless we need to specify a default value, default 0. Then just execute it. Yeah, it's got inserted, added. We can see the parent customer ID got added with the default value 0. Otherwise, we can add a new column. Then we don't need to specify the not null. It should be a nullable column. Customer ID. I'm adding a second new column. Let's see how it's going. Yeah, it's got added because I don't specify not null. It's a nullable column, so it is added with a null for existing records. So this is how we are adding a new column using the alter statement. If I want to modify a column, then I can specify alter statement, alter table, then alter column parent customer ID. Then instead of integer, I'm just updating it, converting it as varchar. Yeah, it's updated. If I want to see the data type correctly, just refresh the columns so we can see, yeah, it is converted as varchar 100. Okay, next if I want to remove a particular column, then I can use the alter statement, alter table, drop column. Then I need to specify the column name. Yeah, it got deleted. It is dropped. Yeah, see that column is get removed. So this is how we are dropping a column. But again, remember, if it is a foreign key, then it will not allow. And if I need to drop the entire table, then I can use a drop table statement. Drop table. We last time we created a records table. We can use that table for dropping. Yeah, it's there. If I use the drop table, then execute it, yeah, that got deleted from the database. And one more thing is sometimes we have a large set of columns for a table, and if I try to write this in there, it will take time. So you can use this feature, like just right click on the table and select the create table as, and select into a new query window. So it will give all the columns exist in that table. We can use this set of columns for writing the query, instead of typing all the uh, columns for the insert or update in any kind of query. Another thing is I used the create for creating. I use this create script. We can have a UI for all that also. If I need to create a new table, I can use right click on the table, new table, then just specify the columns, integer, and name varchar 50. If it is an null or allow null, just check this text box. And if I need to set it as a primary key, just right click it here and set the primary key. And if I need to specify the identity, then we can go to the identity section, just enable it as S, so it will 1 1. If I need to increase the seed, just specify it here. And then if I have a foreign key, that also we can set here. Let's say if I need to uh, state ID integer, set the relationship here, add a foreign key, then just click here, select the state table ID, state ID. So this is how the setting the foreign key using the user interface. Click close and just control save. Click on control S or just click on save button. Then it will ask for the table name. Then giving the table name for that, click OK. It will ask for if I want to continue or not. Sometimes there can some issues. So right now it's an empty table, so I can click S. Yeah, it's saved. Let's see how it is created or not. Yeah, it's say records columns ID name state keys are created, primary key is there, then state foreign key is there. So this is how we create a table using uh, the user interface that is available in the Microsoft SQL Server. So this is all about DML, data manipulation language, and data definition language. That is creating a database, creating a new table, altering, drop, all this comes under data definition language. And when it comes to the insert, delete, update, search, all these are comes for under the data manipulation language. So uh, uh, so next is coming is joins. uh, we have different tables, so how we can pull the data from different tables using joins, that will be discussed in the next video.